Hey, what's up everybody? Bravo D Boy here, clean shaven. First non-chapter review in a while. I don't know. It's just I'm not really accustomed to making more than one video a week. I really should do that because Oda this is like the first break we've had in a while, you know. So I haven't really gotten like much time to make anything besides chapter reviews, and obviously those are really easy to make. So that's my part, that's my fault. I've been lazy. But anyways, today I wanted to talk about a character and do them a justice that they so greatly deserve, in my opinion. This character is amazing, has been thrown into like the same party as several lesser characters, and I want to do them a justice. And this character is Nefertari Vivi. Now, Vivi is a princess, the very first princess we're introduced to in this story. A common complaint about Oda's writing is his use of the princess prop, which Vivi would be the first example, but is, in my opinion, definitely the best example. And obviously I'm talking about characters like Shirahoshi, Rebecca. You could make arguments that some other characters, like I know Grand Line Review likes to say Law was the princess, the true princess of Dressrosa. And then there's like Pudding in Whole Cake Island would fit that role. You could say Ace during Marineford would be one. During like Amazon Lily, that'd be probably like Margaret or something. So some of those are stretches, but it's a thing he relies on a lot. And even before that, you could maybe even make the argument that Nami was back during Arlong Park. Sort of this sort of thing as well. But the first one that like sort of like made this idea dawn on us was the fact that Vivi herself was a princess. And she's very enjoyable to most fans as you watch Alabasta and the whole saga preceding that. But she is like, once reading the rest of the story and they get frustrated with like other characters like Shirahoshi or Rebecca, that I'm not gonna shoot at them, make any claims against them in this video, but lots of fans are very annoyed by those characters. And so just from retrospect, they think, oh, Vivi was just another annoying princess. So no, this video is to dispel that, because she actually had a lot going for her and is one of my personal favorite characters from the pre-time skip era that I think deserves a lot more attention. So anyways, let's get right into it. So we're first introduced to Vivi, right, as this comical opponent with Mr. 8 or Mr. 9, I think it was Mr. 9, and they're just like this incompetent villain duo, which like through our first antagonist in the Grand Line, they were trying to kill Laboon. And I didn't like, what were they thinking? This dude just pulled up with a baseball bat, and then Vivi's got her peacock earrings, which are pretty cool, but they're not gonna do anything to Laboon. So that was a funny introduction, and it's cool to see her as like a menacing evil villain for a little bit through that, and then through Whiskey Peak. But then when we get that reveal, we're like, oh my gosh, and we think she's a dunce. Like, we see her acting like as this like character that is incompetent. She's like, oh no, if you know his name, you're gonna die, when referring to Mr. Zero, because they want to know the leader of Baroque Works. And when they found out that she was a princess and she infiltrated Baroque Works, they said, oh, why'd you do it? And she said, well, I found out, I was going to try to find out Mr. Zero's real personality, like his real name, so I could help save my country that is currently about to face a civil war. And she's like, I'm not gonna tell you his name because it would be so dangerous. You would get killed by one of the 7 warlords, Crocodile. And then she spills it, and so she's like, I'm sorry. Nami's beating her up, and then the Mr. 12 or Mr. the Unluckies, they're called. They get the pictures of the 3 main Straw Hats down and they fly away. It is a funny moment. It's a really funny moment, but Vivi is completely incompetent in that scene. But we get like a total 180, because there's sort of like, we're learning a little bit more about her in Little Garden. She's like, no, I can't go down here. I need to go save my country. But I think the real start of her amazingness as a character is in Drum Island. This is a scene a lot of fans forget about. During Little Garden, she did not want to, her main objective was to go straight to Alabasta, and they had absolutely received an eternal pose to an island that would skip Alabasta, or directly to skip Alabasta. And then they found the eternal pose to Alabasta on Little Garden. And she wanted to go straight there because she wanted to save her country. But when they realized she developed to understand that the Straw Hats are going to be very helpful allies for her, right, during this combat. So she's like, fine, we can go help Nami with this illness that she retracted in this jungle. Let's go to Drum Kingdom. So she's already learned to sort of like hear out her allies, which a lot of greedy kings, like we see this complete contrast where Wapol would never listen to the Straw Hats and like see it as a goodness for their country to save this asset. So, but yeah, so she agrees, already seeing that she's like an open-minded figure. And then we go to Drum Kingdom. Currently, it's Drum Island. This is currently Drum Kingdom. It was not yet the Sakura Kingdom. A really good arc, also underrated. But the first scene they get, besides the meeting Wapol scene on the boat, they go into the riverbank ready to dock their ship, and all of the island folk point their guns at them saying, "What are you doing, pirates?" Because they were recently attacked by Blackbeard. And Luffy's like, "What are you gonna do? You wanna fight? We need a doctor." And they say, we have no doctors here. And Luffy just raises his fist. And Vivi's like, "Are you an idiot?" And she teaches Luffy to bow and say, "You cannot resolve every argument with your fist, Luffy." And this is so great because it develops our main character. Luffy learns from this that, okay, I'm not just fighting for myself here. I can't just punch my way through this problem because it's not me, it's my crewmate. And I can't just beat up these people because I need them to help me. I need them to be on my side and help me cure my navigator. So Luffy sees that from Vivi, who obviously has lots of experience as a leadership. She's a natural born leader. And he learns from that. And that's really great because we even see Luffy as a captain in this arc was really good as well. Of course, a lot of that was probably within his own resolve, but he did learn a lot of that from Vivi. For example, I think it was 500 meter or 5,000 meter climb. Those are very different numbers, but I think it had a 5 in it. Up the like literal 90-degree mountain all the way to get to the castle on top. Totally impractical. That was the intention. And he's holding Sanji by his teeth, and he has Nami on his back, climbing with his fingers bleeding, sliding down. I think that was anime filler, but that was really good filler because it added to the moment. But yeah, that character and leadership development, the way he learned to humble himself when asking for help, and just in general, like he is not as like brash as he is with his opponents usually. And we see this modern. I'm not going to spoil anything because I do encourage you to share this video with people that are only caught up to Alabasta. For now, at least. I might go post time through spoilers, but I don't know. Who knows? But so that, yeah, Luffy learns from that, right? He learns from Vivi in that moment and grows and humbles himself as a leader. It's great. It's truly great. And then we meet Wapol, who is this dirty scumbag. When Blackbeard attacked them at Drum Kingdom, he fled. He became a pirate for the sake of not being at the island. And when the coast was clear, he comes back, tries to invade. Obviously, we know what happens. Luffy beats him. But we get this flashback where Vivi, as a child, at the reverie, was slapped by Wapol because he got in his way. And she wanted to cry so bad, but she didn't. And Iram was stunned by her like bravery in this moment, because this greedy pig Wapol, who has no regard for anybody but himself clearly, is contrasted by this little girl who comes up to Iram and then starts crying when they're secluded, because she understood even at that young age the repercussions of crying by the hands of another king would obviously start a war. And obviously I made a video about this, the Alabasta versus Drum Kingdom War video a while back, that was inspired solely by this great character moment from Vivi that we see through a flashback. So we know that Vivi's always been this great character, going through such great lengths to help her country. And then she's not even the queen yet or anything. So she, like, when do we get something like that for Rebecca ever? Like, come on, like any of that stuff. But anyways, next we're gonna cut to Alabasta, and here, she's like getting this pent up anger. They're thinking, okay, we're gonna go straight to Crocodile and or not quite yet. So they go to Alabasta. They want to go. They want to share the information. So she sends Karu, her duck, to go deliver the fact that Crocodile is Mr. Zero, the one that has been controlling this country, to her father. And she is so upset with Luffy because Luffy, is one moment while they're traveling through the desert to, I think, Alabasta. Luffy sits down and says, "This is pointless. What are we going to do trying to talk to both sides? We need to go to the source of the problem." Because Vivi, at this point, while she has grown on the Straw Hats, she did not learn to trust them quite yet. Like, she does not trust in Luffy's abilities. And we see this later even in the arc. But he sits down and he's like, "No, we're not doing this. We're not going to go, we're not going to try and talk to anybody." And then Vivi actually punches Luffy. And Luffy, being the unbiased man, believer in gender equality, punches her back, saying, "You need to listen to me, Vivi. Don't you trust us? Aren't we friends? You don't need to bear this burden on your own. You don't need to go and do everything on your own. Trust us. We are strong. We need to go fight Crocodile." And she, as she taught Luffy early in the arc, she is open-minded and learns from Luffy here as well. And it's not like some other princesses in the story that just watch and go, "Oh, look at Luffy." She, like she taught Luffy earlier, she learns from Luffy in this moment and says, "Okay, how about this? We go to Rain Base, exactly where Crocodile is, and we take him on right away. Take him out the source of the problem, whole problem's over. I'll trust in your strength, Luffy." And they go there. The whole thing, they get captured. Smoker lets them go, all that stuff. Mr. Prince, awesome moment happens. And then Luffy leaves there, and he's like, "Everybody go to the capital, stop this rebellion." And they all leave on the horny crab. And then Vivi's like, we can't just leave him. What are you doing?" All of you in there, all of them are saying, "Believe in Luffy, he'll do it. Trust in Luffy, he'll do it." And she's learned, "I've traveled to people for so long, I'm gonna believe in them." We've never, ever in the whole story seen a character that fits this princess prop archetype. We've never seen anyone have this sort of development and understanding like Vivi has. Besides Nami, but whatever. She's a pseudo princess. But yeah, so we've never seen this. She is literally like the most developed out of all of the princess characters, and she expands upon what she learns as we see this, all up until the climax where we see her standing on the clock tower and she tells everybody to stop. And just her being there, like standing at the clock tower, is enough to actually make both the royal guards and the rebels stop, just because they're so happy to see this leader figure. And she tells them it's pointless. And finally, when the rain falls, everyone learns to respect Vivi, as the fans should do. Because really, they even, in spite of the hatred they had towards the royalty, they still had this respect for Vivi. And I think that's because the kingdom understood how naturally good of a leader she was, right? So that's my final point. I could go into some post time skip stuff, but there's not really much to work with. All of that's really up to speculation, but I won't, because honestly, I encourage you to share this video with your friends, as I said earlier, that have not seen One Piece past Alabasta. But and I figure that's a large chunk that have I have a couple that are there. Because that's the amount that's on Netflix, if you didn't know. It goes up to Alabasta. So that's about it. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think Vivi's underrated? What princesses do you think could be underrated or even better than Vivi? And then are there just any underrated characters in One Piece in general? And then what kind of videos do you want me to see do you want to see from me in the future? But that's about it. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.